Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you won't get up there for your presentation, right?
We're gonna do one by one.
No, it's okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our special board meeting. Today we are all coming together because we have a really big issue, a special issue. We want to set up a new corporate governance structure, and therefore we cannot do that in the annual meeting. We really need a special board meeting where we only really discuss those issues. Yeah, as you know, I sent you out an agenda like last week, and we have now 6 agenda points, and we will go through each of these points step by step, discuss each of the issues. The first agenda point are the guidelines for respective roles of the BOD and the management. Discuss that. Second, the proposal to set up subcommittees. Currently, we don't have any subcommittees, so we will discuss if it makes sense to set up some. And the third point is to restructure the inspection committee. You know, there are now big issues that's about controlling. And the fourth point is reviewing the shareholder rights policies, because as you know, we're now soon listed at the stock exchange, and therefore we need to attract shareholder rights, the shareholder, and therefore we need to maintain the rights. And the fifth policy is developing the rights and executive trading policies. You heard there are some issues as well. So all the things are very critical issues, and we try to solve these current issues. And actually we also have a 6th point. My friend Win called me this week, and he said he also want to come with some other issues. So I don't know what is exactly what you want to talk about. But we also include more issues that you want to bring up here. All right, so how about the procedure? First, we want to discuss each point, the current issue. So I will explain shortly to you guys what is actually the problem, why we put that on the agenda. Second, we want to hear from you, please, the recommendations. What do you recommend us to solve this issue? And how can we improve the things? Then actually it's our board of directors term. We will ask you questions, and we will discuss the things that you said. And then it's the job of our board secretary, Ms. Min. She will summarize the points we made so far, so that we can really come to a clear decision, and we can exactly know on what actually we will vote. And then finally I will do a conclusion, and we'll move on then to the second point. And so we go step by step, point to point. So I will always ask you then to do the presentation for the next point. Are there any questions concerning our procedure? Alright, cool. Then let's get the meeting started. The first point is the guidelines for respective roles of board of directors and management. Ladies and gentlemen, in the moment the board doesn't really have full control over the company, and actually we also don't really operate effectively. And actually there are 3 reasons for it, what we think. First, we as a board don't feel, or we as a board as a whole, don't feel we have enough information. The second thing is the composition of the board could be improved as well, like maybe we need to change here something. And the third is, my friend, we have a good communication with each other, but we also need to improve that the others also can communicate with us, right? So we should work on that as well. So I will ask you please to come up with your recommendations, how we can solve this issue.
Thank you, Thomas.
All right.
First of all, I want to introduce my team today. Ms. Ngọc, the CEO of the company, Ms. Nguyen, the Deputy CEO, and Ms. Trung Hiếu, CFO, and myself is the CEO. Regarding your first issue about the roles of BOD and management, I would like to introduce Ms. Nguyen to give a suggestion about the corporate governance structure.
you have talked about the issues, so we don't have to repeat it. So we go straight to the corporate governance structure. So this is our proposed structure for the company. So on top is the general meeting of shareholders, who will are responsible for selecting the board director members, and after that the board will pick up other subcommittee like evaluation, auditing, and nomination, which address the issue that we don't have any subcommittee. And we also, according to the law of enterprise, we also have the inspection committee, which supervise the board of directors and the general manager. So we've moved to some more law related to the board of directors. So I think that we have sent you the document last week, so you have time to read it. So we don't have to read it. Yes, it's painful. So this is our proposed structure for the board of directors, which suggests that we have 7 members, which 4 of them should be independent directors. So why the 7 board members and the 4 members is independent directors? So the law of enterprise indicates that the board directors should include from 3 to 11. So we think in the case of our company, the 7 members is suitable for our company because the 2 small board is not diverse enough. But I think like 11 members, so it's so big and take a lot of resources and time for the board to organize the meeting. So I think 7 is good enough. And why there is 4 members should be independent directors. So the rule is just suggest that we have 1/3 of the board. Law on the enterprise says that we have just 1/3 is independent. But in order to increase the power of the independent director, we should have 4. So majority of the board should be the members, independent members. Because the board should represent for the shareholder. Because if you have too many dependent directors, so they have close connection together, so it's not effective when you give a decision, and decision could be biased. So this is according to the law, the term of the board is 5 years, and the board members could be elected for a limited number of times. And also the chairman should be the independent director. So there's some rumor that the chairman and the CEO have close connection, but I think if the chairman does not have any material relation that could affect his decision, so it should be okay. Because in the case, you also have relationship with one another in life. It's not as long as the CEO is not your brother or sister or...
We're not married yet.
Yeah, so it's okay. And the roles of chairman and chief executive officer is not decided by the same rule. In this case, it's okay for us now. And we also suggest that we have at least 1 female as board member for this applicable.
We have 1.
Yeah, we already have 1 because it's about diversity and good to bring women in the board to have different ideas and we can do better discussion. And also about right and duty, you can read on the enterprise law, so we don't have to repeat it here.
Okay.
So next we will talk about the inspection committee.
Sorry? Okay.
Yeah, that's actually then the 3rd point. There is inspection committee, how we can restructure it. Yeah, so maybe we can keep that. And
Yeah, okay, I will present later.
yes, please. And the nomination committee, that is part of the 2nd point then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So maybe we can discuss what you said first,
Yeah.
and we can vote for that because you already come up with a lot of recommendations,
Yeah.
and then we can go to the next point. Yeah, that is then easier for us to vote and to really understand, because otherwise we have so many issues to discuss, Yeah.
Okay.
So
As well as you mentioned about communication with the executive team as well. For the same
What's that?
Communication with executive team. You want us to present up.
Oh yes, please. Yes, yes. This is part is important as well.
Talk about the interaction between the BOD and executive team.
Yeah.
We can discuss.
Yes, please.
So I will talk about the interaction between BOD and executive team. Particularly, we have 3 direct meetings between BOD and executive team. The first one is the regular meeting. Generally, all meeting will convened by the chair of the board, or if the chair of the board fails to convene it, the one who proposed the meeting will convene the meeting. About the regular meeting, it happens in the beginning of each quarter. So the regular meeting will conduct it quarterly. The purpose is review and evaluate the performance of the company in the last quarter, and current management issues and recommendations from the executive team, and we go through the plans and strategies as well. The notice for the regular meeting is that the agenda, invitations, and related documents we send to BOD, we send to all the related members before 7 days, and the meeting minutes will send 1 day after the meeting. And any absent dispute have to send in 2 days before the meeting. And about the annual meeting, if you conduct it in the beginning of the financial year, before AGM meeting, the purpose is so similar to the regular meeting that we review and evaluate the performance of the last year, current management issue and recommendations, and go through the plan and strategies as well. The notice is the same with the regular meeting, and we also added one extra meeting, which is extraordinary meeting when there is a crisis or some critical issues. And in this meeting, we will discuss about the issues and come up with the solution. And because it is urgent meeting, so maybe it may be not informed in advance. Okay. We also communicated by documents for every board meeting. The SSA invitations, agenda, related documents must be sent in 1 week in advance, and meeting minutes must be sent to related persons. Even the absent one in 1 day after meeting. And for every meeting of executive team that has no involvement of board directors, executive team has to send the related documents and meeting minutes to the BOD. And monthly and annual reports and financial statement also sent to BOD as well. In addition, about the contract value exceeds $10,000, they must have the approval from the BOD and the executive team, and other transactions indicated in Article 120 of Law Enterprise. Do you want to hold procedure? Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's all right so far. Or you got some another point regarding that?
The voting.
The voting procedure in the meeting.
Oh no, that's not related to that. That's all right. Yeah, so far. Okay. Please, do you have any questions to them or?
Okay, thank you for your recommendation. And here I have some questions for you. Can you go back to the slide that you recommend in the first one? So, talk about the composition of the BOD. Yeah, that's one. Thank you. Yeah, here you said that the chairman of the board should be an independent director.
No, independent.
An independent director. So can you tell me, like in this case, so our chairman is independent director or?
I think that if the chairman is not the employee of the company, is not the substantial shareholder, and he does not have any material relationship with the company, is not a buyer or customer, so it should be fine. And I think you should ask me about whether the CEO and
Yeah,
the
that
chairman
is my next question. So here's the issue, like they have a relationship between the CEO and chairman, and I want you to suggest the solution for the current issue and for the long term, to prevent for the long term as well. Yeah, because here what you recommend here, just like on your like independent director or female, it's not actually can like solve this issue or prevent this in the future as well. So do you have any recommendation?
I think the chairman and the director have the relationship. I think if there's not material relationship, it's normal you also have a relationship with other friends, so you can get him as the CEO. And the CEO has to be elected by the board voting. So if you want to remove the current CEO, you can have like 3 votes, remove him, and you can select a new one.
And in your opinion, you think that we should the chairman and the CEO should disclose their relationship to the board member and to the executive team and also doctors or something? What kind of relationship they have or something like that?
I think you have to disclose if a member of the board has any family like children or father. The law is not required you to disclose your friends because you have a lot of friends, so you can't disclose. My friends.
Yeah.
Unless the CEO and the chairman have some transactions.
Yeah.
It's not. That is
Unless they
material
have some
and
transaction.
affect the company.
Yeah. So what the wrong here, like it seems like the board, the chairman, he hold the power, right? He hold, and some board members have they feel power, like they control the board, and it's not like they have different interests as well. So what exactly will your recommendation? Like, what is your point to solve that problem?
Actually, the independent chairman is the solution because they have independent to like protect the minority the shareholder that have minority shares and they balance the power of executive and BOD as well. And because independent board chair can support strong and independent board leadership functions. So when they independently, so they like have limited relationship between the shareholders and other board members.
Actually, I disagree. I think this is not a solution. No, I don't see myself really as an independent board member because, of course, I know a lot about the business. So for example, if you want to put somebody here who really is really independent, who comes from a totally different sector, he has no idea about the whole business. How can you run the business, right? Because I contribute significantly to the business now. So this can't be the solution, an independent board member, right?
I'm very sorry that independent chairman, they have no other interest than remuneration that by the company, and they have no direct relation with the management. And for to be effective, we have the selection procedure for board members and co-chairman also. You want to go
We
through
do
it?
not mean that.
What should we ask to like the guidelines to what guidelines or rules that we should add in the corporate governance? Yeah. What kind of principle that
You talk about the selection of the.
You want?
talk about the chairman roles or the board of director roles responsibility. So do you have any like suggestion for the guys like that we should put in the corporate governance?
So let me explain about it.
Yeah.
So you look here and we have 4 dependent directors.
Yeah.
So why is that? So for example, you guys here there are 5. So if 3 of you are independent directors and you see that there are problems in the company, So, for example, the CEO and the chairman is close relation, and you don't like that. So, three of the independent directors can vote to remove the current CEO and select a new one. So, it's not about whether the chairman holds a lot of power. When it comes to voting, each of you have one vote. So, if three of you don't like the CEO, so you can just remove him. But the other
Well,
But the
that's not
chairman
really
have
true.
the chairman have like important roles in, like facilitates the roles of the board member and also the relationship between the board member and the management team. So I think that, like in the corporate governance, we should add more like the role of the chairman or also the roles of the board and executive team. If you have any suggestions for that?
I think in the rules they set up the board writer has the right to remove and select the CEO. And also you can vote for the chairman. So, for example, if four of you vote for a new chairman, so he cannot stay in the board forever.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you guys think? Because here I think that
Yeah.
we should put in our corporate governance, we should according to ISS page 17, the chair is responsible for should facilitate the effective contribution of all directors and promote the relationship between the board members and the management team. And also in the guideline in the blue book, page 24, the board should here you say that like the meeting, we have annual meeting, but here is also like review the role and responsibilities of between the board and the management. So, like we keep the relationship between the board member and also the board with the management as well. And also in the blue book, page 22, and the board should develop a formal performance evaluation process for review its performance. So we have to we suggest that we have a process, to evaluate the performance of ourselves and also the performance of the company and the management. So that's the kind of process during a year, not just like call for the meeting. So that is our recommendation for this kind of issue.
We certainly agree with that. And,
Yeah.
We include that part in the selection and remuneration and
Yeah.
as evaluation of the BOD executive team.
Okay.
That's not going to discuss.
Okay, ladies
Okay,
and gentlemen,
then.
I just want to remind you that we need to come to a conclusion now.
Yeah.
There is a lot of discussion now going on.
Yeah.
So what I heard so far, I think it's a really good idea that we measure our performance somehow, and maybe we hear later on about inspection committee. Maybe some point can we bring in later on that as well. So on many of the things you said, Min, I agree, and we can decide it like that. But from those recommendations, I definitely don't want to have the 7 board members, because I think our board is more than big enough,
Yeah.
It is no mean there are already some board members who never contributed in the last board meetings, and so if there are 7, then it's even more cost for our company. Yeah, and the rest is from my point of view fine. So if nobody at all has some
I
recommendation.
have one more concern about how would you plan to clear up the rumor between the CEO and the chairman, even though we know for sure that there is some relationship can happen, friend relationship and all that stuff. But if we're going public, then we cannot leave the rumor as it is, right? So what is your plan to clear it up? How are you going to clear it up?
So I think you can vote now to remove
So
the
your plan of
chairman.
clearing
Yeah,
the
so if
rumor,
you have 3
remove the
independent
chairman?
and you don't like the chairman, just vote and remove the
Actually,
chairman.
This is not on the agenda.
as I said before, there's no problem between chairman and CEO being friends. It's actually very common practice, but
Exactly.
he knows myself, he knows that
And it runs well, so what's the problem about that,
I'm a good employee for him, and he hired me as CEO. And that's
But my opinion that you guys should disclose your
Yes.
relationship
Yes. Yes.
Will you do that or?
Well, what do you expect? Like that I put on the website, he's a friend of mine, or
No,
what?
no, you're like your business and his business, like what you guys doing, and you're like, this is one of the guidelines in Blue Book as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree with Ms. Min. What the best that we can do is when we go public is that we disclose all the necessary transactions or information regarding the chairman, the CEO, whether we have any material transactions that together that affect the company performance of all the shareholders. Regarding the rumors, we cannot
Do you really think that's
publicly
necessary?
say.
Okay, if we put it on a point, we can vote for that.
Okay.
So,
So I
yeah.
also have one regarding to the rumor. So you say that the chair have certified the independent criteria, right? So the chair is independent to making a decision. So it's two-sided. So what if the chairman is not two-sided, but one-sided, because they have a relationship with the CEO? So in that case, you remove the chairman. You decide to remove the chairman, as you say. And what if the last person in the chair has a relationship with one of the board members? How can you solve it?
Actually, it's not easy to eliminate the chairman because we have also the rules for definition of chairman and board members. And for the chairman and the board members, they shouldn't have the direct relationship like mother in the board. No direct relationship according to the
Before, as you said, how to prevent, another chairman come in,
Yeah.
the event, not.
So
not
remove
independent
it-
again.
remove
You're gonna have
chairman.
the selection procedure
we have
in order to
Yeah.
select the best, suitable person, to avoid that problem.
Yeah,
The
all right.
selection procedure that
Yeah.
we discussed later on.
Okay.
All right, so I would ask you, Min, now to summarize all the most important points, what we're going to vote now for.
Okay.
Um,
Here are the things that we need to vote for, and we all agree with the 4th recommendation here. Yeah, but the one have you concerned here, like 7 members.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we have to vote. So what do you think about it?
So you think that 5 is okay?
5 is definitely enough, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually I think 5 years is also a little bit short. We could make it 7 years for the chairperson, because like you need to stay a long time in the company in order to know everything, right?
Because the law
Mm.
just limited to 5 years.
No, 5
You
years.
cannot say.
But if we, like isn't it from the ASX?
No, it's from the law enterprise.
Law
Yeah.
on enterprise. Yeah.
You can be selected. Yeah.
Okay.
You can be selected.
No
if
more
they
2
want
years.
you to
Okay.
stay on
No more
board.
5 years. Okay.
So
Okay.
why are you voting on that then? It's
5
you need to say that.
5 members, right? 5 members. You guys agree? Honestly.
So how many independent?
So
Okay.
if we
And
have 5,
3
then
independent?
we should have
Okay.
3 independent directors.
Okay, let's vote. Who want to change the board? Who want to have some extra board members?
No.
One?
Okay.
Then we stay with 5, okay. Just one want to have extra board members.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think 5 is appropriate. I think 7 is appropriate.
Okay. Now we talk about
Okay.
evaluation of performance process. Are we later for selection and okay later, okay. So that is not just okay. And the last one is should you disclose the information, your relationship to the public and board member and company? Okay.
No.
saying whether it's not the point. It's whether you should investigate on the relationship or not.
I think that this can come with the.
No, I mean, there's no transaction between them, there's no problem. I mean,
Yes, but whether you
it
should
doesn't affect
investigate and
business.
tell the public really to show them evidence that there's really no connection at all.
But I think that will affect our company a lot, like something like, so we have to be careful. So that's why we have to
No,
ask
but
them like,
nothing is running better if we post something like that on our website or whatever.
so you guys clear, right? You guys
Yeah.
agree with that?
I would disagree with that.
You have no choice. You have.
I just like
We
to
realized
Okay,
your
yes,
point
yes.
on that already. Yes, thank you for that.
No, listen to him.
I have a recommendation because it's come to the inspection committee. So after we vote for the inspection restructuring the inspection committee, the inspection committee will do the job for inspection the
Yeah.
relationship. So we come to the top later. It's okay. So I think we can decide on the number for first, and then we move to
So the next topic, otherwise we run out of time, right?
Okay,
So,
so-
ladies and gentlemen, let's vote for them.
Okay, that's
Okay, then the next issue is forming some subcommittees. Actually, it's quite related to what we already discussed, because you already proposed a new structure. We will discuss it if it's really necessary like that. But the issue why some board members really want to have some subcommittee, or why they propose this agenda point, is that there is no real remuneration committee, and so far, so it's pretty unclear about remuneration things, and shareholders and most PUD members don't really have any clue about financial stuff so far. So yeah, the question is the problem that they are not really try to get the information, or do we need like an audit committee or something like that? So this is the issue what we'd like to discuss now. We would like to come up with some recommendations for that, please.
Regarding your first point about the trust in the available information, I would just like to introduce briefly the CFO of the company to talk more about the disclosure of information.
Okay, thank you.
I will tell you something about the disclosure information of the listed company when our company was listed on the stock exchange. The first information disclosure at the beginning of this process, and when we want to be listed, prospectus is required to disclose information about the risk of the company and some proposed of operation plan in the company and how to advise with the shareholder the policy in the for the next time. And secondly, the financial statement of the last 2 years is required, and it is audited by the approved auditing firm and independent auditing. And the charter of the organization, the charter you must follow to create a policy in the company. The final is the resolution of the general meeting of shareholder, and this is the first step we want to do before the information disclosure. Before, and then the next I want to tell about some disclosure information after being listed, and some principle. I just tell first some principle.
Excuse me, could I just interrupt you? Right, the main point now should be really the subcommittees you want to form, because the disclosure we can discuss it later on in the shareholder rights. What we really need to disclose for them. But now we really want to talk about the subcommittees. So do we need a remuneration committee? Do we need an audit committee and those points? Do you have any suggestions for that?
Okay, so regarding instructions.
So we'll come back to the subcommittee. We start first with the nomination committee. So the nomination committee is responsible for nominating the board director members. So why is it important? Because currently we have issue in the board director. So some of you complained that the chairman have relationship with the CEO. Other member. So we will have the nomination committee to resolve that issue. So the nomination committee is responsible for listing the candidates, and the candidates will be voted on the general shareholder meeting to be the member of the board. So generally we have the nomination committee, and then the nomination committee come up with a list of the suitable one, and then the shareholder will vote for the board. So this is why it's important, because it's independent with the board, so it can choose the most suitable one for the company to make the company run efficiently. So about the audit committee. The audit committee is responsible for the financial statement and integrity of the financial statement of the company. So it also works with the external auditor too. And I think that the audit committee will be responsible for disclose information about financial statement and other situation of the company to the shareholder. And some of you complain that the shareholders don't have any clues about the financial situation of the company. So the audit committee will be responsible for that. So we have to do the quarter financial statement and publish on the company website, and other issue about the risk of the company, because if we want to go public, we also have to assess our risk again. So the audit committee is for that. And about the remuneration committee, so I heard you guys said that there are some issue in the remunerations. For example, board members have payroll at the customer. So the remuneration committee will work out the incentive plan and the salary for the board members. So in order to resolve the conflict between the salary of each board member, to make it, and we also have to disclose the information about the salary of the board member on the website and in our annual statement, financial statement, in order to make it clear for the shareholder to know how we pay for the board and executive team. We can pay a lot of money when we make loss. So the remuneration committee come up with the salary, and then it flows to the shareholder and in the annual report. So that's the three subcommittee that we suggest to you. Yeah.
Thank you for that input. So from my point of view, maybe we can discuss it all together, but from my point of view, the audit committee, that was very straightforward, and that sounds pretty reasonable. So I don't have to add anything on that. And also the remuneration committee is okay as well, but I don't really see a clear benefit of the nomination committee, why the company would do better if we're doing that. It's just an additional cost. And so what do you guys think? Do you have any questions for that, or we just should right away vote for the remuneration?
Because I am particularly concerned about the rumors and all that stuff, so I thought the nomination committee is a good way to go. A good way to start.
But do you think somehow it affects negatively our company? I mean, would we do better if we have that?
Sure, because nomination committee is not only responsible for nominating the board members and all that stuff, but they're also in charge of process of candidate selection and their skill methods and training plan. So in a way, it helps to develop not only the transparency of the board member, but as well as their skill and competency.
That's true, but so far we have like 5 board members, right? So we don't change it, we don't need extra board members. So there's no urgent need for that. We can postpone it to a later meeting.
Well, we can surely make it if our company is in a bad financial position, but to say that we don't need it, then it's not.
We can set it up later once there are new board members coming in, but in the moment we all still have a contract, so.
But the nominee,
If you don't have it now, then how can you select the new board member?
Yeah.
Well, then when we need it, right?
Well, we have
that's
to
time
forward before.
Next time, so you
But there are a lot of costs, you know. How many members you said should be in there?
Three.
Three.
I think it's appropriate. Because
let's vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agree.
Okay, I agree.
Partner.
Okay.
Actually, we have the three subcommittee like that.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, and I think the other things we can do it as they suggested, the audit committee and the remuneration committee, or are there any other comments from you board members? Okay, good. Okay, that was fast and quick and straightforward. So let's move on to our third part, the restructuring of the inspection committee. Well, we already have an inspection committee, but there are people saying, I don't know if it is true, that they can't control any exercise because they're employees. I mean, even I think that you should control the exercise, but please, your opinion about that and what we can prove.
Yeah, we also agree with the board that our inspection committee now is really bad because they employ and they don't do any exercise on supervising the board and as well as the director. So we suggest that we have to reselect them. And the issue is that we can dismiss the inspection committee based on the law because they do nothing. And then we will select a new one. We just have three members, and at least one of them should have financial background in order to check the financial performance of the company. And three of them should be independent. So they need not to be the employees or any executive or board members. So they have independent from the company, so they can efficiently, effectively inspect the activity of the board as well as the executive director. So that's why they have to be independent. So that's our recommendation for restructuring the nomination committee.
The inspection.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is why we really need now an independent members, because we already set up right away before this the audit committee, right? And we said the audit committee also has independent members, right? So actually they can do all this independent job for the financial things. So why we still need to strengthen the inspection committee? That is not really clear for me.
The inspection committee,
We have the audit committee, right?
Yeah, the audit committee is responsible for the financial audit, and they work with the external auditor. But the inspection committee has the bigger power, they have more important role. They supervise the board as well as the executive team. So we need it to separate it. And because the inspection committee has the bigger role, so they have to have the independent director also.
For example, if the CEO, CFO, might be in the if you have the audit committee person, if he is doing something wrong, then you said he's the inspector as well, then it's not very good, for him to supervise himself. So it's got to be a separate committee apart from the audit committee.
Okay, that makes sense. Is there any comments on that?
I have some comment that is, we are having like a dummy inspection committee right now, and we have to improve it. We have to do it really independent to inspect only the board and the executives. But thing is, our general shareholders meeting doesn't work well enough to just do it like they have to do it. The shareholder doesn't care, and they're not informed. So, moreover, that is the top manager is buying shares, and they have power. They have a lot of share in a lot of power in voting. And how can we prevent a vote for another dummy committee from the manager? They have the nominators,
Yeah.
and they have power to vote. the people that they prefer. So how can we prevent that? In the general meeting. General meetings, nothing happens in fact.
Yeah, the inspection committee can, the list of the candidate for inspection committee can come up with, from the nomination committee. They can, come up with a list of suitable one for the inspection committee, so we can vote for that. So in order to avoid the director or the chairman to, put the, people have special relationship with them on the inspection committee, so it's make it clear to the shareholder.
So, I have a question. Like, based on what you say that you just remind that we remember.
Yeah.
Because I think that one has the foundation of the financial or accounting knowledge.
Yeah.
They can manage the information inside the company and one independent decision run. Do you think?
Yeah. So, that will take us cuts between one less, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody else financial situation has to do it, so.
So if you have two dependent members and one independent member, so there are situations that the two dependent will be influenced by other people inside the company. Yeah, so it's not very effective. Yeah.
I have one concern here, because here in our application state that the inspection committee does not have any team at all. So
Sorry?
does not have any control on the
Yeah,
management
currently,
and on the DOD currently. So how are you going to suggest a solution to this? I mean, is there any empowerment plan for it? To, because, you know, like sometimes the inspection committee, not because they don't have enough competency, but because they are not using enough power to do so.
Yeah, so the rules, they have all, this is all the power of the inspection committee. They have on the rule, law and right. So currently, it's not because they don't have the power, but because they employees, so if they are afraid to inspect the CEO or the chairman. So if you are employee of a company, so how you can set up the CEO or the chairman is something wrong. So
It's in a formal process.
yeah, because it's on the law, and we also can put in the charter company, so it's clear that the inspection committee has all the power to supervise the performance of the board for the executive.
So who appoints the new members of the inspection committee,
I think that no nomination committee can do it.
the nomination committee?
Yeah, you can come up with a list and you can vote on that.
So do you have any comment on how to improve the voting procedure for the inspection committee in the general shareholders meeting? Because as I told you, there's the top manager is buying shares, and how the inspection committee represent the right for the small shareholders.
Oh, but that's then discussing the fifth point about executive trading, right?
No, that's not.
Well,
No, I mean the top
The
manager.
voting procedure.
The top manager has the power to vote for their preference, and how the inspection committee voted.
Actually,
Oh, okay.
as we step up, the inspection committee got to be independent. So they are not going to be,
Any relationship with the
not
other
going
board
to
member.
be, not going to be in the executive team, So it's not going to happen, the problem is not going to happen if they're independent.
Okay, yeah, I think the big question is now, should it be independent or not, right? This is the thing, but we're all
And how many-
discussing about the current thing. So I think we should vote on that, and the other things we can conclude it as it is here. Yeah.
I have one suggestion,
Mm.
there's a reason why we suggest 7 people in the BOD before, because if you say you select, 3 for the audit committee, they have to be independent, and then 3 for the inspections, they have to be independent, and all those people are going to be the same if, the BOD only have 5 people and 3 independent. So there's 2 options. One, we have more independent directors. Secondly, the size of our committees have to be smaller than 3 people.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
members of those.
I don't think we need three, right?
No, because I believe that the members of those committees doesn't have to be the member of the board of directors.
Not the member of the board.
Yeah, so if the board is fine, that's okay. The people in the in those committees is different people. Has nothing to do with that.
But the question is really why you need three, right?
It's just that we increase the number of the boards and of the committee.
But we already decided that, yeah, so,
Two independent, okay, so,
yeah, okay. So we vote on the number and if they should be independent or not, right?
Yeah.
Those are the things.
I think
Okay.
it must be
Well,
independent.
we vote for that. You can raise your hand.
Okay.
Who likes independent board members? Four? 4 or 5, okay. And who likes to have 2 board members? Two inspection committee members. That the inspection committee consists of 2 members. None of you? All 3?
I believe that's not allowed by the law.
Well, this is said we can make it small as well, right?
Can we make it small? I think it's
That's
not
what
allowed
you
by the
suggest,
law.
right? We can
The
also make
reason
2 members.
why I said before is that, you can have independent directors, of the committee that different from the BOD. And even our financial situation, if we can use the
Yeah.
people as well, then we probably can save costs.
That's the point, yeah. So that's why.
The law only against, the chair of the independent chair, not the chair of the board. Other board members will be okay to sit in those committees.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I
So,
think it's
so we
completely
set
separate.
it that way.
How can inspection committee can inspect the board when they are a member of the
No,
board?
not necessarily inspection, I'm talking about those committees in general, maybe audit committee.
No, we are talking about inspection committee. So it's still separate, right? Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has to be
Well,
completely separate.
Yeah.
if it's independent, then it must be separate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Inspection.
But then from where you got it? From the ASX or from, is it a law?
Inspection committee is from the law. Law, it's private law.
That's the law, and the law says it must be 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we don't need to vote on that anyway.
Yeah, 3 to 5.
Okay. Okay, that is passed, then let's go to the next point. The shareholder rights, yeah, that is a very important point. I hope we can really discuss it longer.
No time for
Because actually
that.
there were 2 really big issues. And the first issue is the shareholder currently don't have sufficient access to our company's information, and we really want to attract the new shareholders. So this point is actually much more important than we had before, but okay, it's just my personal opinion. And the second is they are not attracted for shareholders to participate in meetings, and that is like they should be empowered, right? So we really need new shareholders. So what can we do about that? Please come up with your recommendations.
Your first point is regarding company information disclosure. And,
Exactly, yeah. Well,
shareholders don't have enough access to.
how to get information, yeah, where will we disclose it, which information will be disclosed, those are the things we need
Our
to
CFO is
discuss.
going to continue with his presentation before talking about the disclosure.
Okay, yes, please. But I think we don't need it before listing, because we are about to get listed now, so just in general, right?
Yeah, but there could be some, things that we haven't met, even, for the company before listing. So we
Okay.
want to mention that.
Okay.
Just to have some information on the information disclosure after being listed. Just some problem. So information needs to be disclosure. That's the first is February article disclosure information in the financial statement monthly and yearly, half year to be disclosure for shareholder. You must disclose the information about the trading of share, of major share and internal share when it affects on the capital of stock of the companies more than 25%. And extra ordinary disclosure of information upon the request. It's just when the company has some problem about the product, when it's out of the market and it's be ruined and it's had to be recalled, and you should disclose the information to SE and stock exchange for them to know that some problem. Our company doesn't have this problem, so you just know that for them to notice Next, and some problem related to corporation governance improvement. The structure of information about the board director, some committee or company should be disclosed for shareholders to know that, and some reports about the meeting and some transaction related, some companies or supplier should be, and the final is shareholder meeting and resolution. It should be on the website of the company and the stock exchange. Everyone knows the problem. But I think in Vietnam the most important problem, is some people in board director or manager, they buy the share, but they don't disclose the information in the public, and sometimes it can wrongly and affect on the stock or left of the shareholder. And this is the most common problem.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I really agree with pretty much all of these points. They're excellent, and I just wanna add something because you talked a lot about how the information or which kind of information should be disclosed, but we should also think how we should disclose it and where we should disclose it. We said, for example, on the website, which I think is a really good idea, but then, for example, we could make an own section in our website for shareholders, or should we make an own section about corporate governance in the website where we all publish this information? Or for example, should we always try and send out newsletters to our shareholders? And then there is also the thing, once you're not able to attend such a meeting, such a shareholder meeting, should we provide them any opportunity that they still can participate in that? For example, like webcast or something like that, and like digital voting or something like that. So what is your opinion about that and about the other board members? Do you think this is enough, or?
Well, I agree with the disclosure of information process, as well as where and how we are going to disclose our information. That's important because even if we have this information, but we don't have the channel of disclosure, then that's the problem, because the information won't reach our shareholders.
Yes.
So yes, I agree with your points as well as with our chair, so I say yes.
What we should notice is apart from disclosure on the website, after the investor, you have to submit the information to the stock exchange as well. Your website just not
the copy.
the other part is given form of grocery form. That's from the stock exchange. They're gonna distribute the information to the press, how they stuff is like. That's very important. If you violate that, you're gonna get a benefit from the stock exchange.
I'm concerned about the time frame of the disclosure. So you mentioned that you want the disclosure within constantly.
That's regarding the financial information.
Yeah, for other information that's important for study, what we have mentioned of our account, so we have to disclose it immediately. Yeah.
Immediately, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as the meeting happened or whatever, the new information happened right away, when you send it to the press, then you also inform the shareholders.
Yeah, if the CEO or the chair buys shares, then we have to close the
Mm,
study.
mm, 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 mm.
Totally just for financial information.
Okay, seems everybody agrees on that, so, is there anything to vote, or we can decide it as it is?
That it is.
Okay, Chris, that's passed. So then we come to our last official point, the directors and executives training policies. Yeah, because there's a rumors that like general manager or some of the top manager has been actively buying shares, which is really a problem for our company because, you know, like he gets his own benefits then. I don't know who actually it is, but, you know, he gets his own benefits and it's bad for our company, right? So we really need to prevent that, and maybe you can come up with some suggestions how to prevent it.
Yeah, I think it's based on the information process. So each time you buy a share, you have to disclose. So for example, you are the directors or board members, you buy a new share, you have to disclose to the entity and the security stock exchange. So,
But at the time you have already changed the
no, if you want to buy a share, you have to disclose first, and you can buy a share later.
We can,
Yeah.
for the shares that directors already hold, we can disclose his holding, how many percentage of his holding currently.
So the rule is, if you want, you're a board member, you want to buy share, you have to submit your intention.
So you say the disclosure is enough, but what is if you don't disclose it?
You have to,
I mean, probably if somebody want to really do that, right, want to harm the company, they will not disclose it, right? So how can you enforce disclosure?
It will be, penalized in by the stock exchange.
Yeah.
Because there's a problem.
but when you list it, you have to, all your transactions will be recorded on the stock exchange. You can hide that. When you unlisted, you can hide that. But when you list it, all your transactions will be recorded.
Yeah, but I mean, what is if he asks his mother or a friend or something like that,
Yeah,
you know?
all your
So how
relations-
can you prevent that?
All your
You have to
relations, if you want to
disclose
buy,
your
you have to
entities
disclose.
buying as well.
But if you don't do that,
So
so who can find it out if you don't do that, right?
the stock exchange can find out.
How?
Well, you have
to disclose all your relations.
You have to submit your
Yeah.
your parents, your kid's name, your wife's name,
Yeah.
and so
Everything
if
to the
the CEO
stock
buy
exchange.
shares and you did not disclose that, then you got into trouble.
Well, but you know, like it is already fraud. So I mean, if somebody want to do something bad, then of course there are still ways of going around it. Do you really think that is enough?
I think we have to come up with some internal
Internal
policy.
control, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, for example, if the board member don't disclose any transaction related to his family or other party that's related to him,
Exactly.
yeah, so we can have the policy that we can remove him from the board because he do things harm to the company.
Yeah.
I consider, in the case, the board of the directors, they trade the shares during the period which we call blackout period. That from the close of the book to the announcement of the public.
Yeah.
So in this period, there are obviously, no trading at all. So outside this period, do you have some suggestions for the discussion or the implementation of this campaign?
Actually, for the chairman, CEO to buy shares or sell shares is not actually a problem. Sometimes it just depends on the strategy of the company. You don't have to prevent it, the chairman to sell unless it's a significant amount that gonna affect the stock price. You only need the blackout period only, apply for the listed bearer, because when the company first listed, it's very sensitive to the selling and buying of the internal people, because if the chairman sell a lot of his share of the company, then how can the public can trust and buy more shares of our company?
So when
After that, it's not a big deal, for
CEO.
CEO and chairman to make transaction, especially if it's not a big one.
Yeah, but in case the chairman have a lot of shares, and when he is in the possession of the inside information of the confidential information about the company, like the company going bad, and he sell all the shares on the hand, and then the net risk of the company.
What else means that with the share bonus,